You probably know Bob Nolet as the Director of Operations for the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce, but like all of us, Bob contains multitudes. I sat down with Bob for our Open Here podcast. I'm with Bob Nolet. Welcome. So happy to have you.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me today.
So let's get into it. Tell us about your background. Where did you grow up?
Sure. So I'm originally from Weymouth. I grew up in Pembroke, though. We moved to Pembroke in about third grade. So I went to the Pembroke Public Schools and then went to Silver Lake Junior High. And then from there, I went to Archbishop Williams High School in Braintree. And then from there, I went to Curry College in Milton.
What were you like growing up? Were you a bookworm? Were you an athlete? A little bit of everything?
So I would say I wasn't either of those two. I tried all the different sports. I tried soccer. I tried basketball. I tried baseball. My parents had me really involved. Boy Scouts, you name it. But the sports really weren't my thing.
Right.
And that's okay. It's not for a lot of people. But I loved being outdoors, and I loved landscaping and gardening and getting my hands dirty and that type of sense. So that was really like my true hobby. I used to have a fish pond at my parents' house, and that was just my go-to. I would play in that pond and rearrange it and build waterfalls, and I wanted to be a landscape architect. Like, that's what I thought I was going to be growing up. So that was just a fun way to fill that need.
Are you still into that stuff now? Are you into gardening?
Oh, absolutely. Especially this time of year,
Yes.
Like you'll find me Saturday and Sunday at either a Lowe's or a Home Depot or a local garden center. It's just the best time of year. All the flowers and plants are coming out and the yards are all coming back. I love that. And, it's just something about being outdoors. And again, you can kind of create your own little paradise with flowers and plants. And it's just relaxing for me.
I love that. What brought you to the chamber?
Sure. So out of college, I was working for a high-tech PR agency, and I realized that just wasn't me. I wasn't like a cubicle type of person. And so from there, I landed a role at Plymouth Rock Studios. In the very early days, I started out as an apprentice, and then they hired me as director of public relations there. And they just, unfortunately, this organization was a startup. They really couldn't get funding. It was kind of the height of the economic crisis around 2008, 2009. So the project just didn't, take off. And then I found myself working for the Radisson Hotel in Plymouth as their corporate and travel and tour manager. And so with the Radisson and with Plymouth Rock Studios, I was very involved within the Plymouth community, doing a lot of tourism things. I sat on the See Plymouth board, or at the time it was Destination Plymouth, just really involved. And so, meeting all those local contacts and creating this great network, it led me to the chamber just over 13 years ago now.
What do you love about your job?
I love that it's something different every day and that I'm helping people. We're a nonprofit, but we wake up every day and we go into that office to help support local small business owners. And that's what it's all about. Like, I'm helping somebody, with their dream. Like, they're an entrepreneur, they're starting their own business, whether it be we're helping them get connected to the right people, making contacts, or the different networking events we have, writing letters of recommendation for business owners. It's just rewarding because we're really helping all these local businesses and business owners who are our neighbors and friends and family, thrive and succeed.
Making dreams come true.
Absolutely. It's the best job, and it's so social, and I'm a very social person, so I really like that aspect of it too.
So you're a very busy person. How do you achieve that work-life balance?
So it can be hard, especially with my role at the chamber. We have a lot of after-hours events, so we're constantly out at different things, which is great. It's fun, but it is hard sometimes for that work-life balance. And I think for me, I have to plan out ahead of time. I'm such a planner. So if I, take maybe 2-week chunks and say, okay, this is what I have coming up, I can plan out the nights that I am free, that I'll be home for dinner, or the nights I won't be home for dinner. Maybe we have dinner a little bit late. But to be able to, it's the hardest part, I think, of the job is to be able to have that balance. But I think the way I do it is by planning out in advance. And that allows me to have that work-life balance, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. It does make sense. And that's such an important component to having a very well-balanced life.
Absolutely. You can't let any one thing kind of take over your life, whether it be a job or a part-time job or something else. You need to make sure you have time for yourself, your family, your friends, and your job. It all kind of has to work together. And that looks different for everybody.
And speaking of busy, you have an initiative, not really new, but it's called OutNet. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So OutNet started with a group of other local business owners, BF Architects, Carmel Davis Funeral Homes, the Plymouth Foundation, and the Chamber. We got together and said, there's not a lot of LGBTQ plus networking opportunities or groups around here. We have some amazing organizations such as Plymouth Pride and other groups that exist, but more for the professional networking aspect of things. So we got together and the group originally started out with numerous different names. We wanted to be inclusive of everybody in the community, and we were really trying to find our niche when we started. And so we finally settled on the name OutNet. And it's just a great group of people from all over the community. We have people coming up from the Cape and coming as far as Quincy down to our networking groups. And it's just a great low-key, safe feeling atmosphere for local members of the LGBTQ plus community, as well as allies are welcome, as always, to come meet new people, be social, and, network as well if you're a business owner. So it's just kind of a great mix of everything. And we're really proud that, it started in 2023 and it's thriving. And each meeting we have, or event, I should say, it's not really a meeting, is growing bigger and bigger. We're having upwards of 40, 45 people attending now. So it's great to see. And it's a group effort, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Why is it important to bring LGBTQ plus professionals together? How are they like an economic driver?
Sure. So, the opportunity just didn't seem to exist around here for bringing this group together. Whereas, Boston and larger cities have these types of events. Worcester, they have groups like this already established for professionals. It doesn't matter who you are or who you love or whatnot. If you're a business owner and you want to make connections, it's just a great way of doing that. And some people just may not feel comfortable in larger situations. And this is kind of a smaller scale and just a comfortable environment for some people that may not feel comfortable in other larger environments, if that makes sense.
Right. It does make sense. It's hard to kind of find your way in the world and to kind of connect with your people.
Right. Absolutely. People, that just maybe understand what you're going through. Or, we've had some great examples of people that have moved locally to here and they don't know anybody. And they saw our flyer and they came to meet other members of their community and also to network. And they're also a business owner. So it's just been a rewarding experience because it's giving some people an opportunity to come out, meet others, network, make friends in a very comfortable atmosphere for them.
What advice do you have for young entrepreneurs, professionals, business owners who are just trying to start out?
I think advice is take it slow. Don't try to do everything at once, and also seek help, seek resources. There's so many people out there that want to help small business owners and entrepreneurs. There's so many free resources as well that exist. Even through the Chamber, we can connect so many people with some great free business counseling and guidance and whatnot. And it's just, I think some business owners sometimes maybe want to jump right into it and maybe not have everything planned out exactly yet, or they're quick to grow their business and add a second location, third location. And sometimes it's growing too fast, and maybe sometimes it's growing too slow, but that there are people out there that are always looking to help, and to not be afraid to ask for that help and seek advice from professionals who can help you in your business.
What's been your biggest accomplishment?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think my biggest accomplishment is being able to give back to the community. We do so many community events at the Chamber, and just being able to support the business community as well. We do a lot of the community events like at the Waterfront Festival and Bark in the Park and different things. And then we have our business events like networking and luncheons. But I think it's just being able to help local people in my own community that I live in and work in. And that's just what's rewarding for me. Like I said, the Chamber's a nonprofit. So, everything we do is really just to give back. And I think that that's probably what's the most rewarding part of my job, is being able to give back to the community, the residents and the local business owners.
And what does the future hold for you?
That's a tough one. How do we know what our future is? I think that's so tough. It's definitely in the chamber world and working with businesses and being here in Plymouth. I think I take one day at a time, and the future, sometimes we can't control it. We don't know what it's going to be, but I hope my future is here, serving the community, being a part of this wonderful community, and just giving back.
And the community's lucky to have you. Bob, thank you so much for joining today.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been great.
Hi, we're so glad you stopped by. If you'd like to support Community in Action through media, please consider donating to the local scene. The QR code will take you where you need to go. Thanks, friend.